Good evening, students. Today we will be discussing about the leadership and its leadership theories and styles. So, uh, actually, this leadership concept was started in the early 20th century. And this 20th century, when they were talking about these theories, no, they were talking only about qualities. What is that? It is being distinguished from leaders and followers. But later on, the leaders was being uh, judged such as variables such as one best example is situational factors. How far the particular leaders is taking decision based on the situation and the skills what they are having. So according to the skills, also people are being are grown as a leader and different leadership theories we were talking actually. But we will be discussing only few major things, that is 7 to 8 theories we will be discussing in this slide. So first theory is great man theories. So great man theory will be talking about that leaders are born, not made. So are born, not made means actually you can think that in ancient period only one particular king will be ruling. So generations they'll be ruling. Why? Because they'll be thinking that kings are born only to rule the countries. That is what the great man theory has arisen. And mostly, why the term great man has arisen? Because only uh, the male community was dominating in maintaining that leaders. So it is also called, especially in terms of it is also called as military leadership also. So you can talk about why it was called as great man because so at the time when the leadership has arisen, no, they'll be thinking that it was only as a male personality or male quality. So it only this term has been coined for great man theory. And next we'll be talking about trait theories. In trait theories, where people will talk about similar in some ways of uh, great man theories, they trait some qualities actually. They'll be having this particular person is having this quality. That is what we'll be talking about. The kings, generations, they'll be ruling the country, and they think that people, their followers, will be thinking that they'll be having that quality, and they will be ruling the country. So, and sometimes talking about this theory will be talking about either the personality or the behavioral characteristics shared by the leaders. These two things only people will be selected as a leader either by personality or the behavioral characteristics which shared by the leaders actually. And this is actually we can talk about even great man theory and trait theory and all. We can talk about even say for example Alexander the Great, and we can talk about Napoleon. They were and all talked about great men, so dominating. And if you're taking in India, we can talk about Tipu Sultan. Then we can talk about Vijayanagar kingdom, which was ruled in Andhra Pradesh by, and in Tamil Nadu, we can talk about Rajaraja Choran. So these are all the things where these persons were having some qualities and their behavioral characteristics were different. So people have accepted as the leaders. And next one is this one is actually what is the trait theory is talking about. No, so they'll be having lots of ambition and energy, and they'll be having desire to lead, and they'll be thinking that honesty and integrity will be there with that particular person, and they'll be having lots of self confidence, then intelligence will be there, and they'll be talking about every time job relevant knowledge. So these are all few people might be thinking, but this theories and all this theory, trade theory, sometimes it will not be applicable at the present scenario. And this one is a contingency theory. It is focusing on particular variables related to environment that might determine which particular style of leadership is best suited for the situation. So this theory, no leadership is best in all situations. That is what in contingency theory we will be talking about. It depends. The success depends purely on variables, including the leadership style, Then talking about the qualities of the followers and aspects of the situation. This is contingency theory. It depends upon particular variables. That is, what are all the variables means, including the leadership style, qualities of the followers who are all following the leaders, and mainly the situational factors of that particular area. Like that also we can talk about in contingency theories. And next theory will be talking about situational theories. It proposes that leaders should choose the best course based upon situation variables. So a good leader nowadays, most of the leaders are being arise because of the situational factors only. Based on the situation, no, they will be taking some decisions. So they will be becoming a leader. And we can use different styles of leadership here because at the times of a different situation you should take different sort of decision making and all. So this situational theory only nowadays where people follow nowadays depend because every day they will be facing on new problems and how far is going to take the decision based on the situation. And this one is behavioral theories. So based upon the belief that leaders are made not born. So it is being brought in root itself in behaviorism. How far these people is behaving in this society. The leadership theory mostly focuses on action of leaders, not on mental qualities or internal states, only through action of any personality. So these leaders will be selected. According to this theory, no, people can learn to become leaders through teaching and observation. So a leader can be a leader. If you want to become a leader, you should have very good. You should learn through teaching, and you should have lots of observation capacity so that he can become a leader also. This is what the behavioral thing, a picture, small picture where people will follow you because of your behavior things, what you've done. So participative. So the word itself has been coined, no, participative theories. This theory suggests that the ideal leadership style to is one that takes the input of others into account. So where as a leader, he will be giving importance to his subordinates, and according to his subordinates' interest, he will be taking the decisions. This is what actually participate theory is. The leaders encourage mostly participation and contribution from group members and help group members feel more relevant and committed for decision making. So you will be making comfortable, very much comfortable to the subordinates to make them participate in the decision making. But anyway, the leader retains the right every time to allow the input of others. So the leader only will be having the right to allow the input. So whether you can tell it or not, he will be having that authority. So this is what these small pictures and all you can see why we are showing these small pictures and other things and all. You can see why participative theories and all it will be like this only. So final thing is management theories. It is also known as transactional theories, where it will be mainly focusing on supervision, organization, and group for performance. This is what actually organize a management theories where supervision will be there, organization will be there, and group performance will be there. So, and mostly this theory will be based on a system of reward and punishment. So this is the main thing you should understand. So the system of reward and according to punishment is management theory will be acceptable or not. And also it is often used in business when employees are successful, they are rewarded, and when they fail, no, they will be punished. So that is what here in management theory is talking about. So please understand it is a transactional theory. It is focusing on it will be mainly focusing on supervision, organization, and group performance. This is management theories and relationship theories. One more, sorry. It is also known as actually here no transformational theories. So connecting between uh, the leaders and the followers. So it is a very big theory, mostly focusing on uh, link between the leaders and the followers. So the leaders normally motivate and inspire people by helping the group members how much the importance uh, are given for achieving the good task. So they should tell, and they'll be focusing on these leaders mainly focusing on performance of group members and also each person to fulfill his potential. That also you should understand. So these leaders of or will be having high ethical and moral standards every time. So you should understand these things. Okay. So and next topic we'll be discussing in theories is leadership styles. So a leadership style, talking about a leadership style is a leader style of providing direction, implementing plans, and motivating people. This is what actually leadership style is, where the leader how he is providing direction, then how he is implementing the plans for his subordinates and motivating the people. So there are different types of leaderships that can be exhibited for the business uh, or in the political scenario or in any other fields whichever it is applicable. First one is actually we'll be seeing is autocratic or authoritarian. So where very best example for this authoritarian leadership style is Hitler, where only the leader can take decision and nobody cannot, no followers can tell any decisions to the leader. So autocratic leader, very he'll keep strict and close control over the followers by keeping close regulation of policies and procedures given to followers. So this is the main thing, autocratic. So you'll not be giving or taking any ideas given by subordinates or the followers. So make sure to only create a distinct professional relationship. So I know in this video class I don't want to tell about even there were leaders even in Tamil Nadu this type of authoritarian leadership and all, but in this class I don't want to tell. I think you know what hint I am giving. From that hint itself you can tell that which leader we are talking about. So no person cannot give ideas to them and they only will be taking decision. So if I told also the best example is Hitler. So they'll be thinking, so a person and a gigantic person with a remote in his hand and all control over will be with him only. So how far you should do, you should raise your hand, even you should walk, everything he will tell. And this one is paternalistic leader. So they'll be talking about father figure for this particular leadership style. They'll be in this leader, no, in this style of leadership, no, the leader supplies complete concern for his followers or workers. So father figure means you can tell. Even now, lots of politicians they'll be talking about. I am following this leader's principles footpath like that and all they'll be telling. I think you know who I am talking about. Either any parties you can tell. So we are following this particular person's footpaths and we are following his whatever he has told in his period. So paternalistic leader. And next one is so leader as parent, workers or as child. So that is what here paternalistic leader will be looking. So democratic style where they'll be allowing the persons to talk. That is the members in the group were allowed to talk and they will be telling some suggestions to leader and they'll be talking about mostly social equality will be there in this democratic where everybody can talk about ideas and suggestions can be given to that leader. So from this picture you can see, a leader is talking with his subordinates, and then laissez-faire. So this type of leadership is where all the rights and powers are fully given to the worker itself. So so he will give lots of ideas, and they'll be giving a management will be trying to implement if it is a good decision. So along with autocratic leadership and democratic leadership, three persons, Levin, Lepitt, and White, they were introduced this concept in 1938. So hands-off leadership style. Because the leader delegates the task, he'll be delegating. The leader will be simply delegating the work to his followers and provide little or sometimes no direction to the followers. So this type of leadership, most of the in in Indian type of environment, most of the organization will never follow. So leader, got a golden parachute. Leader will be taking, and the subordinate will be going in different direction, taking some other thing, and he'll be flying like that. This picture is talking about, and this one is about talking about transactional leadership. So where it was first introduced by Max Weber in 1947, and then later it was described by Bernard Bass in the year 1981. So it is mainly used by transactional leaders, focusing on mostly the leadership on motivating followers through a system of rewards and punishment. So if you complete this work, you will be rewarded. If you're not completing this work, you will be punished. This is what the contingent reward and management by exception. You can talk about that, and transformational leader. So where you can talk about it is a type of person. This a transformational leader is a type of person in which the leader is not limited by his or by his followers' perception. So there were many leaders in India for transformational. So previously, people were believing in many age-old concepts, and few leaders came and they abolished some acts and all which was followed in ancient India, and lots of transformation has been taken place. One best example we can talk about Rajaram Mohan Roy, where he has transformed or he has eradicated the Sati movement from India. So I think you know what is Sati movement is. So Sati movement actually, when an husband dies, after the husband dies, his wife also should die in the same fire which where his husband is being cremated. So it was there in ancient India. It was called as Sati. So that Sati movement was fully abolished by Rajaram Mohan Rai. So transformation. So leaders, they follow the transformation style of leading, challenge, and inspire. And you can talk many. I am telling only Rajaram Mohan Rai. And you can also tell many things about Ambedkar. You can talk, and then you can talk about Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi. He has done lots of transformation where he has done many changes from ancient India to the what we are enjoying now. Okay, so this is actually simple uh, slide. The past cannot be changed, but if you are having a very good attitude, the future is in your power. It was told by Hugh White. Sorry. So these are all additional information for you, talking about role of manager and leader. So a manager is a person responsible for controlling or administrating an organization or group of staff. But leader is who commands a group or organization or a country. So you should please understand, you will be only responsible for controlling or administering. But a leader means he'll be commanding a group or organization or a country. And leadership functions, setting vision. So main thing of a leadership is you should set a vision for the country or organization, and you should have lots of initiation. You should inspire. You should be inspiring every time by others. So you should have lots of coaching capacities. So every time you should be supporting to everybody in the organization and informing. You should keep on informing the subordinates this is going to happen, and if you're not doing this, this will happen for you. And this one is something about difference between what leaders and managers do. This slide will be talking. So manager will be talking about status quo, but leader will always deal with changes. And the managers will be working in the system, but leaders will work on the system. These are all the things that you can study also. So it will be there in your Moodle only. So please, you can go through this. One more slide will be there after this last slide. And ways to become a more effective leader. So you should learn about more styles of leadership. Then only you can talk about you can become a leader. Which type of leadership style people are interested to follow, you can think. Then you should keep on encourage creativity. So creativity is main thing for a leader, and you should serve also as a role model. So you should ethical practices. That is what here we can take. So if you're following ethics, so a leader is following. He should be a role model to others, and every time you should be passionate about for the work or to others, everything. And most one more main thing is here. We should first of all, a good leader should be a listener, and we should also be able to communicate effectively. If you're not a listener, no, you are not a good leader. Please understand. So you should be a very good listener, and every time you should have a positive attitude. So if you're having positive attitude itself, 90% your goals will be accomplished. And then encourage people to make contributions in the organization. Then motivate the followers. Keep on motivating the followers. So talking about rewards and recognition every time you should offer. And then so creativity and trying new things. So it is more or singular point. Then this one is actually effective leadership roles. Same thing. So we can talk about. So if any doubts, no, you can message me. This is the last side. Leaders become great not because of their power, but because of their ability to empower others. So this is what the present style of leadership is doing nowadays. It is not about talking of powers. So how far their ability to empower others. It was given by John Maxwell. So with this, I am completing the leadership topic. Okay, thank you, students.